press looks like. Does anyone? Does it look like any other tool that you've seen?
I wonder.
Kind of like a.
It looks like a dumb mill.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't. Okay, so this is the feed lever. This is the table. This is the chuck. This is the off button. That's the on button.
Can you have words on
You
there?
two separate ones.
Can you put words on there, like actually?
This is the test.
Your test.
What are those things on the top?
Autofocusing, like he just.
Okay.
You pointed
Where'd my
at
ruler
something.
go? Aha!
You said something, but it didn't register in my brain.
This is the column. It holds up the thing. It sits on the floor and holds up the drill press.
I'm a visual.
This is the motor. It's a motor.
I know.
Make it spin.
Okay.
Up here are the belts. It's how you can control the speed. You don't touch them. Only mentors touch them. This is the belt cover box. This is the belt box cover. You don't touch that either.
It's just a cover.
What do we touch?
It covers the belts that you don't touch.
Everything.
Therefore, don't touch.
Is it because I'm black? Does that sound cool?
This is the table lock. You can rotate the little lever, the little handle on it to make the table go up and down, depending on how tall the thing is you're milling, or not milling, but drilling. This is the chuck key. You stick it into the chuck, and you can use it to tighten or loosen the chuck, so you can make sure that the bit doesn't fly out randomly.
So yeah, the chuck is kind of, it's got gears around the outside of it, and there are actually teeth on here, and they mesh together, and as you turn on the key, it kind of tightens the chuck. Okay, so that's why you need a special kind of tool to open and shut it, because then what happens is you have the drill bit in here, and as you tighten it, of course it clamps down. So as you tighten the chuck, okay, make sure that the drill bit is straight. And because if it's not, then what happens is it'll start wobbling. As you turn it on, it'll become pretty obvious pretty quickly. But so just kind of make sure that the drill bit is square in the chuck as you tighten it.
It'll look
Using
dirty.
the chuck key, right?
Yeah, you lock it in with a chuck key.
And a lot of times, I'm not sure exactly, but a lot of times they'll just hang the chuck key.
Yeah, it just hangs on a string,
on
kind
the
of
back
attached
here.
to it.
So the thing you need to remember is once you use the chuck key on the chuck, that you take it out. You take it out of the chuck.
It actually kicks itself out most of the time.
Yeah.
It's got a little spring on it.
What's the thing directly below the belts on the diagram?
This? That's the motor.
Yeah, okay.
Oh,
Reiterating that.
It moves it.
I didn't see it when you pointed at the first time.
Okay, okay.
not here.
Well, pay
I'm a
attention.
visual learner. It'd be a lot easier if you're teaching me this to have the words up there.
Yeah, we did. We had something. We had something yesterday that was.
Oh, yesterday I wasn't here yesterday.
No, we had.
Oh, really?
We had a picture yesterday that wasn't as easy to read, and we did this last night, but didn't put the words on there.
I couldn't get it to
Oh
work.
yeah, 'cause it's
It's
hard for me to
being
learn.
Word was being a jerk.
Pointing and
Ah.
naming them as
Alright,
we go.
so
And we
the
review
The thing
before the
that you
test. So
mentioned is usually where the chuck key's hanging. Do you call it the chuck key hanger or what?
after this
It
presentation,
doesn't have a label. This is literally the test.
It doesn't have a label.
There's no label for the chuck key.
Okay, so what is
Dangle
that arrow
string.
pointing at then?
The column.
This is pointing at the column.
Okay,
This is pointing at the
little lever.
hand, the lock.
Yeah.
The table lock. Yes.
People want to call them, is it self-standing or do you lock it someplace?
It's got a little base and then there's a column and then it's just a big tall thing. This is about the table is about and you go
Yep.
so yeah high.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a dumb mill.
That's what happens when mills don't pass high school.
Yeah.
Or these safety tests.
So
Okay, so yeah. This is our
where's the little clamp thing and stuff?
oh yeah, and you want to clamp down your stuff at all times.
Okay, so
Using
Yeah.
kind of the
clamp.
clamp thing. So a lot of times what we'll have to do is we'll come up to the this will be then this is the table or the okay, it's sitting there like that, and in the center of it is going to be the hole. So what you want to do is, let's say I wanted to put a hole in this piece of metal, right? The easy way to do it is to put it on a piece of wood, those little scrap pieces of wood around it, and then you'll want to clamp it to the table, right? It makes it nice and secure. So what happens is then when you drill down into it, a couple things happen. It doesn't move, doesn't spin. If this starts spinning, it can be really dangerous, right? And the other thing is, you drill where you want to drill. It doesn't wander, okay? And then also when you get through when you actually drill through this, in this case you'll see little wood shavings, okay? So it'll be pretty silently made all the way through. And it goes from kind of, like medium under pressure to
Wood feels squishy.
You feel it kind of punch through the metal.
It's true. It has a squishy feel to it.
Yeah, so those are some things. So you want to use a clamp to hold down your work. You probably want to use some kind of wood or maybe even metal to protect the surface of the table.
Also, when you have you generally want to have the table centered because it can actually kind of shift from left to right.
Yeah.
But you want to have it centered so if it does go all the way through the wood, it will just go through the little center hole.
So yeah, that's another strategy.
Yeah, there's a couple strategies.
To use the center hole
to make sure it's pleasant.
To use the center hole, make sure you don't drill through the table. And the other one is to put something underneath.
That's
what you're
for
trying to
sure
drill.
scrap.
You could say wood underneath.
Wood is generally a good thing to put.
Yeah. Okay. So when you think about it, it's like, well, that makes sense. It's not drilling into the table.
Because that's another heavy, expensive thing.
Yeah, it's a steel table, but you don't want it to be drilling into it. Okay. So let's go.
Let's look at that. Let's see what else we can talk about.
Oh, let's talk about the feed lever.
So this lever is different than the mill. This thing will automatically retract. However, it's very forceful when it does so.
Yeah.
So generally, don't just let it go. Like let it kind of like feed it back up. Don't let it just go like, and then like go and make an angry banging noise. Because banging noises in robotics is bad, unless it's a hammer.
And a hammer is not a chisel.
A hammer is not a chisel. Wait, what?
Many things are not just
Hammer's like the least chisel.
The back part.
In the hammer.
Not really.
I know.
Hammer. Okay. So yeah, when you're drilling, you want to you generally want to have your hand on the holding the material as well as the clamp, but then you want to have it about 3 inches away from the bit because that's a safe distance. That isn't too far away. How fast you go is determined about how big your bit is, because if you have a bigger bit, it's going to take away more stuff. So you need to go slower, so you can take away that more stuff in less at a time.
So yeah, so the bigger your drill bit, the slower your feed rate. Talk about that. Feed rate is how quickly you're pulling down that handle to drop that drill bit. So if you have something really small drill bit, you can go a lot faster than if you have something really large. Time, but nice and slow. Also, that when we've got a bigger drill bit, it's going to have a tendency to create a lot more heat. So you got to really watch your feed rate to make sure things don't get too hot. In some cases, you want to use some kind of lube or.
Normally on this, you just go slow.
Just go nice and slow.
We don't normally use lube on this.
Okay.
Lube is generally more for the mill.
Well, I've used mill or whatnot.
And
coolant on the drill press before, but
I haven't.
yeah.
Have you ever used lube on this?
Yeah.
Oh.
very occasional.
Yeah, it's not as often. Because this thing has a lower speed too.
Yeah, exactly.
It spins
It's not
really
going-
slow.
It's not going to like catch fire.
Magnets.
Once you go through
That was the mill.
Once you go
Totally different.
Okay. What is this? Here.
Table.
What is this? What is that one? What is that one? What is this part of here?
Lid.
Cover.
What are these?
Bells.
What is that?
Motor.
What is this?
Feed lever.
What is this? And what is that?
Table lock.
And what's this?
Chucky.
Chucky.
Okay.
Chucky.
Does anyone have questions about that?
No.
We have a Chuck A.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yep.
This one.
Let's do it.
Tech stuff.
Not really anything.
By the way, to do anything in the shop, you have to have 100% on all the tests.
Pretty much.
Wow.
So.
No pressure.
So make sure you're paying attention.
I don't even know what team I'm on.
us that after
2910.
like 2 tests.
2910, the fifth.
Not entirely necessary, but.
You need to start coming to our meeting.
Yeah, right.
Huh?
Can everybody here sign in on the attendance?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is the officer meeting just right after this, or is it at 3?
3.
How much?
Okay.
Are you taking